Happy Tuesday, Maverick Traders. This is Rob Reinhold, and this is the Currency Recap March 18th. In this session, we're going to go into the news of the day. We're going to take a look at commodity markets. We're going to take a look at the bond markets. We're going to see if everything is lining up, and we're going to find the best currency, and the way we do that is through our relative strength and weakness from a top-down approach.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, so let's take a look at the news of the day. So we had a U.S. retail sales report that missed on Monday. The market still bounced in spite of that, but today we got the market turned over. The sentiment remains negative. We'll take a look at the charts here, but exactly what I said I wanted to have happen over the weekend and the first part of this week has happened. We'd had a little bounce after just 2 or 3 weeks of pure selling. We finally got a bounce to be able to sell into. So I'm actually really excited for new short opportunities here. We also got Canadian CPI jumps. This is most likely due to the tariffs. So we now have a 1.1% month-over-month rate, which is, again, quite large. We now have the core or the trim CPI getting back close to that 3% or higher. The Bank of Canada wants it below that point. If it goes back into the threes, the Bank of Canada will not be able to cut rates anymore. What did that mean for the movement for the day? Well, we got the same thing we've been seeing for weeks. The European currencies continue to be the best. So Swiss franc number 1, euro number 2, pound number 3. Surprisingly, we didn't get any strength from the yen. So the equity markets went down about 1% today. The yen never really budged. Now, it did bounce off of its low for the day. We'll take a look at a yen chart here in just a second. But the yen didn't spike. That's the one thing that's telling me, hey, you know what? Yes, we got the sell-off in equities. We'll look at a chart here in a second. But we didn't get to see a whole lot of risk-off movement other than over here in the Aussie going down a little bit. But take a look at the Kiwi. Kiwi was up. CAD should have dropped. Didn't really drop. It's telling me that, yes, we had a down day, but there wasn't a huge rush to the exit. We had the S&P down 1.7%. We had the world index down a little bit less. Crypto down 2.6%. If you're new to the game, when we take a look at all these, it sounds like it's big. It's not big. Crypto moves 7, 8, 10% on big days. This is like a very mild down day in crypto. We did get gold continue to hit new highs. We've liked gold. We think that's a really good place to be. And oil down about 1%. In the crypto market, we saw selling across the board. Bitcoin Cash was the best performer. Litecoin the worst, but again, we haven't liked cryptos since we started this risk-off move. Until that is well done and over, likely cryptos are going to either go sideways or lower. We do not like them on the long side. Let's go ahead and take a look at that S&P chart. Exactly what I wanted to happen. A breakdown below the support, a retest, and a failure. So this is exactly what the bear rally pattern is. The bear rally pattern is when something breaks support. It usually falls a couple days. It rebounds, hits that place where it broke through, and fails. I said I've been waiting for this to get more bearish. I'm ready to get more bearish. I'm already moderately bearish. Here's the issue. We have the FOMC meeting tomorrow. We've got the Bank of Japan tonight. And I'm not seeing all of the risk-off things coming together. And I want to show you what I mean by that. So this here is the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 usually is much worse than the rest of the markets. Take a look at this candle. This candle's not all that bad. We also want to see the US 10-year bond yields plummeting. And you can see down here they were plummeting. We've bounced up. Today was not a day where it said, hey, you know what? There's a lot of selling here. Or sorry, a lot of buying of bonds, which should push the yields lower. So we didn't get that. And then I also want to take a look at the yen. The yen should have spiked. When the markets are falling, typically we see the yen rising. When the markets bounce, we saw the yen fall. Yes, we did get a hammer candle here. Maybe we get a green candle tomorrow. So if we get that candle tomorrow, that's going to be more confirmation that the equity markets are likely going to be headed lower. But at this point, I'm still bearish. There's no question about it. But with our news coming up, I think we just need to be a little bit patient here. We've got the Bank of Japan tonight. So yen is something I'm watching very closely here, because if the equity markets fall more, the yen and Swiss franc are likely to be the best performers, and those are the currency pairs I want to be looking to be long in. This, however, is going to be major news. Will the Bank of Japan tell the market that interest rates are likely going higher in Japan? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. Now, there is no time for the Bank of Japan meeting. They announce it when they announce it. Typically, in my career, I've seen it go from anywhere from, let's call it 11 o'clock Eastern time, somewhere to about 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. Typically, it's right around midnight. So if you do want to be watching for it, the only way to know that the news is hit is to watch the Japanese yen pairs and watch them spike or fall. That's the only way you'll know that the BOJ news has hit. But after that, I think if the yen strengthens, I think it's a great, great opportunity to start getting long yen again after this pullback. We also have the FOMC out of the US. Their statement is at 12 p.m. and their press conference is at 2:30. Sorry, it's at 2 p.m. and their press conference is at 2:30 Eastern time. They're expected to keep rates where they are. I expect there to be what is called the whipsaw. And the whipsaw is very common around FOMC meetings, where what happens is when you get the actual announcement at 2 p.m., you're going to get a spike. So you get that spike. And then what happens is you typically get a pretty nasty sell-off here to the downside. And then after the press conference, you get a reversal to the way of the first move. Typically, you're going to get a continuation of that first move. So if the first move is to the downside, I would expect that maybe that last 15, 20 minutes, I think we get a rally then, really convincing rally. And then when the press conference starts, we get that sell-off to new lows. That's why we always tell our traders, look, if you're going to trade through news, you either need to have a very, very wide stop, or you need to wait until the news is done. So that's really the only way to trade news, is to have a very, very wide stop, because you can see if you're long or short, if you get this price action after a news report, everyone gets knocked out. Longs and shorts, they all take losses just because their stops are too close. You need to give your stops lots of rooms to move around if you're going to be trading around news. If not, wait for the news is done. Let that whipsaw action happen somewhere around probably 2:45, 2:50 p.m. Eastern time is going to be a better move that's going to have less volatility to it and probably more of a trending move. So that is my outlook for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and look through some charts and find out where I'm going to be hunting. What I'm looking for when I go hunting is, where's the momentum? In the currency market, a lot of things just go, kind of side to side range bound, and then all of a sudden they have big trends up, big trends down. We want to be trading the pairs that have big trends up and big trends down. This here is the yen currency basket. There's no way to really look at the yen itself because it's always a pairs trade. So what we've done is we've created a basket where we equally weight it against 7 other currencies to where we can actually measure the yen's strength and weakness. This is a 4-hour chart. We've got a 13 EMA in here. We got a parabolic SAR and an RSI. And we're really just looking for the trends. The daily chart, you can see the yen has been the best currency since the first of the year. We're having a pullback. Anytime we've had a pullback, it's been a great buying opportunity in the yen. Great buying opportunity in yen. This one's a little bit deeper. We still like the yen on the long side, but you can see we have a little hammer candle here. We need to see more from the yen. That's why I'm not ready to make any sort of yen trade. And frankly, I need to see a lot more from the yen. I need to see a few things. I need to see this 13 EMA start to turn higher. I need to see this RSI get above 50. We already did get a trigger here for confirmation that parabolic SARS has been broken, but that is not enough for me to get in it. I want to see everything turn. I want to see this turn. I want to see this turn. Then all of a sudden, I can start looking at some potential trades later down the road. Again, this is a 4-hour chart, so maybe 3 more candles. So I'm going to need to see at least 8 to 12 hours of candles before it tells me that the momentum has turned. So the yen's not ready yet. I am not looking at dollar at all on the long side. However, I am looking at it on the short side. I've liked dollar short for a while. Take a look at the daily chart, and you can see the dollar has just been falling. Same thing. It falls, rallies. Falls into lows, rallies. And this one here was even weaker. We did not even get a bounce. We got a low base. So for me, dollar is absolutely a shortable currency here. And we're just waiting for some more downside. Again, we just had a push down. Now we're basing. So any drop below this base is another entry point to being short dollar. So I do like short dollar. Yen needs to prove me a little bit more. We come over here to the Swiss franc, and the Swiss franc is stronger than weaker, but it's not really going anywhere. If we go look at its daily chart, it's definitely messier here. I mean, this is not a real predictable trend here. So for me, Swiss franc is not my favorite on the long side. We come over here to euro, and euro is looking great. After breaking out of this channel, we had a nice break. We know it's not going to run forever. It's either going to have a pullback and a bounce, or it's going to have a base. This is looking more like a base. It's looking really good here. Look, if you want to really wait and be patient, a breakout above that range would be the signal. But for me, I'm okay buying it at the bottom of the low base, or of the high base, sorry. I'm okay buying it down here. This is the daily chart, but I want to go into the 4-hour chart. And it's telling me it's not ready yet. Right here, right now, everything's going sideways. We do not like to take positions in currencies that are going sideways because we don't know when they're going to break. We don't know when news is going to come out, and it's just dead money. So we really want to wait for there to be a nice breakout to the upside. We'll take a look at some euro charts here in a second. Let's take a look at pound. What about the pound? Pound looks great as well. It's cleared out of its last resistance area. It's had a little hard time climbing higher, but we had a pullback. We're starting to bounce here. To me, pound looks really attractive here as well off of this pullback. But where are we right here, right now? Flat moving average, flat RSI. It's close, but again, I'm going to need to see at least 2 or 3 candles are showing me that the momentum is coming back in. CAD is basically flattening out here. Not interested in CAD. Aussie, it's been range bound. It tells me, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on range bound currencies. Look for something else. And here we have the Kiwi showing some strength as well. Kiwi looking really strong. When we take a look at our velocity scoreboard, this is what we see right here, right now. We have very low scores on everything, which means that right now there's not many things trending. The only thing we're really seeing trending is the Kiwi on a 4-hour chart, but the daily chart doesn't look great. So it's telling us, okay, there's not some great trades here yet. Remember, the markets are cyclical. They go from trending to resting to trending to resting. One of the best analogies I have ever been given is by one of our traders who lives in Hawaii, who's also a surfer and also an attorney, quite a combination. Said, Rob, trading is just like surfing. I go out on my board, and sometimes the waves are good, and sometimes they're not. And when they're not, I don't waste my time out there. I go back and wait till they're good. But when they're good, I wait for that perfect wave. And when that perfect wave comes and I ride it, there's nothing better. The market is waves. This is not a great wave at the moment. However, we know there's lots of news coming up over the next 24 hours that typically create big waves. So I'm definitely on hold, not looking to make any trades until at least after that Bank of Japan meeting and probably after the FOMC. But I think after that is going to be a big wave, and I think there's going to be great opportunity. I'm looking at the European currencies against the dollar. That's going to be the currency crosses I'm looking at. So let's go look at a couple of those charts and see some possible entry points. Remember our trick, whenever you have two currencies that you don't know which one is going to be better, pair them up. So we like both the euro and the pound to the long side. Well, just pair them up. Pair them up and you see, okay, which one would you rather buy? So again, this is the euro pound. So if it's going up, it means the euro is currently stronger than the pound. And you can see over the past, let's call it 2 weeks, it's about 14 days, 10 days, the euro's been stronger than the pound. But before that, the entire month of February, the pound was stronger than the euro. So as you can see, there's not a clear trend on the daily chart. But if we go into the 4-hour chart, we can see that the euro has been stronger than the pound. So that tells me the euro is going to be my favorite place to go hunt. So I'm looking at euro dollar. And you can see everything looks great here on this chart. We've got a daily chart. We've got rising EMA, rising parabolic SARs. We have an RSI that is a little bit overbought at the moment. Look, I don't mind overbought RSI, but I at least have to recognize that when it gets into this RSI, it starts to lose a little bit of its gas. And that's exactly what's happened. You can see we've lost a little bit of our gas. We're going higher still, but just not all that quickly. This is a high base, and this is exactly what happens in high base. Typically, we like to see a little relief on this RSI before we see spike back up, but it doesn't need to. If this just continues to base, we can get a nice breakout here. I like the euro dollar quite a bit here. Is there going to be some resistance at the 110 area? Very likely. It's a round number. We usually see that. I'm not worried about this. This thing is really moving nicely to the upside. The only question is, where's the timing? We've got a nice high base breakout happening at the moment. Where again, we haven't really broken out, but we are pushing up against this upper level here, looking to break higher. I like everything about this. If there wasn't major news coming up, I would already be in this position. Take a look at pound dollar. You can see pound dollar is very similar. Same thing, high basing here. Everything looks strong. That's where I'm focusing on. I do want to look at a yen pair, and I'm going to take a look at Aussie yen. So let's say there's a very strong risk off move over the next 24 hours where, again, the Fed disappoints, the Bank of Japan says they're raising interest rates, and the equity markets tumble and bond yields tumble. Aussie yen is my favorite play if that happens. This is a daily chart. And you can see we went sideways, we dropped it, we rallied a little bit lower, dropped. You can see we just had this rally. These rallies are wonderful shorting opportunities, wonderful little opportunities. Here we have another one. If we get a sell-off here, Aussie yen is my favorite play for a really short market. Overall, right now, it's not a great trading environment right here, right now. Like I said about the waves, we have just had a big wave over the last couple of weeks. We had a little receding wave. There's not great movement. Tomorrow, we get a ton of news, likely to be another big wave again. I think you absolutely want to be active after that FOMC meeting. This is the Currency Recap. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye, everybody.